guy in the house shoots at the person. He's trying to defend his home, right?
He's black though.
In a carry state, remember, don't forget.
So it's legal. So it was a warning sign. So how is this justified?
He's black.
Right. So that's like,
all that it boils down to. He's black. That's what it is.
Even if you make a lot of it, people say, "Oh, it's not a racial thing." Oh, da da da. I'm like, okay, so break it down.
Hello, all, and welcome to another episode of Between Sisters. I am your host, Kaya, and I am here with my lovely sisters. First in, Keisha. Then we got Shauna Dawn. Then we have Cho Lubby. Then we have Evie. I just cannot. Before we start today, we want to still say that Breonna Taylor's murderers have not been charged nor convicted. Actually, the AG, Daniel Camercoon, actually charged one officer with wanton endangerment, and that's for the people that live next door. So nobody was charged with actually killing Breonna. So,
or charged for the other neighbors that bullets went into their place.
Yes,
were black.
And
they were only charged, if you think about it, they were only
for the white people,
for the white neighbors.
So obviously we got something to say because this has been happening too much in our society. People are saying that the system wasn't meant for us, and I tend to agree. But when you have a black AG that has actually, during a time of unrest, social unrest, civil unrest, you have time out of your schedule to go and speak some words for the president that has vehemently disrespected people that look like you. But yet you saying that you were following orders and we need to keep things in the proper context.
But look who his mentor is.
Who might that be?
Mitch McConnell. So why would we expect anything else?
I need to make a disclaimer because I am going to be so petty during this show. The petty level, the petty meter is going to be all the way up there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I was going to say in regards to come to Daniel, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Nope.
That is the truth. So
I'll just leave that there.
Somebody had posted today, it probably went viral, this statement. It said, I'm gonna read it right now. It said, "Let this sink in. The dogs in the Michael Vick case got more justice than Breonna Taylor."
True.
That's sad. That's scary.
But I've been saying that. I've been saying that every time something happens, is you can fight dogs, and Michael Vick went to jail for that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can kill someone who look like us, look like the five of us, and it means nothing.
Yeah.
Our lives really don't matter, and it's so funny, Kaya, you posted that that man in the t-shirt today that said, "Where were you? Where were all lives matter?" With the time period.
1919 to 1969, I believe.
I wasn't surprised, especially early in the morning, seeing that the state had already set up for riot gear and had everything. We already knew what the outcome was going to be, and they knew to prepare for the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wasn't surprised by what we heard. We knew we were not going to get justice. It took 194 days. What did we really think was going to happen?
Exactly.
If you listen, and I think I said this the last time we met, if you listen to what the AG, if you listen to his speech at the RNC, he made it very clear to us what that outcome was going to be from him.
Right.
He was very clear, because he just harped on rioting and all of, like, you're missing the big picture. You're missing the big picture. You're missing the whole fact that no-knock warrant, and then the fact that they're using it was justified them shooting because Walker shot at them. Well, you didn't identify yourselves. You were in plain clothes. You came through somebody's house after 12. He busted a shot to let you know that
A warning shot, right.
a warning shot to let you know y'all in the wrong house right now.
Right.
And that justify y'all to just let off. It was justified for y'all to just let off.
And then you didn't even shoot the person that shot at you.
And then the person that shot at you, correct, didn't get shot. I don't know how anyone could sit down and think that they actually did something and they did justice. This woman's life is gone. And I have been saying this over and over again. What if it was children that lost their lives? What if it was little kids that was in that bed and they were the ones that those cops?
This country has proven that if it were kids, they wouldn't care. Tamir Rice.
Black kids.
Yes, black kids.
Very clear.
Tamir Rice. Trayvon Martin. I don't care how many people try to make him as an adult. He was a child.
He was a child.
They don't care. And there was somebody on, because D.L. Hughley, he's always posting.
Right.
Like, he don't care. On his Instagram, somebody had said on the Instagram that, well, they had a meme. I won't even say it's a meme. Somebody took a picture of somebody that had a sign, right? And the sign said, a cop shot a Black woman and was only charged for the shots missed.
Yes, I saw that one.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And somebody responded and was just like, well, y'all need to know the facts. The facts are she wasn't asleep. She was in the hallway. The facts are it was a no-knock warrant, yet they still knocked.
Oh my
gosh.
They
oh my
still
gosh. I was reading a comment Lauren London posted about, sorry, apologizing and the fact that we didn't get any justice. And this woman made a comment and said, maybe she shouldn't have been messing with drug dealers, alluded to the fact that her murder was justified because she was involved with drug dealers. So clearly this
the same one that she was not with.
So I went onto this person's page and she is the mother of Black boys.
What?
But she will teach her children, she teaches her children the right values and all of these things, alluding to the fact that we don't teach our children the right values. I don't know.
How old did her kids look in her
They
page?
could be like 9 and 10, but that's okay because they're gonna be 15 and 14 very
When
soon.
they get older, she'll be back on that page.
They will be 15 and 14 very soon. And you better be teaching them little boys when they see the police what they need to. She needs to be having the conversation that all Black mamas have to have with their Black children.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But even to say that you're saying that because she did with drug dealers, she deserved to be there. Not only that, the fact that they tried to get her ex-boyfriend to say that she was guilty.
That's what I was going to say.
With that, and he was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right.
But she wasn't.
Right.
So with all the crookery and all the shadiness that they try to do to build a case to justify what they did, and this buffoon still comes out and not charge them with anything, is a slap in the face. I hope he has children one day. Because
with his white wife.
Although your fiance is a white woman, you will have Black little children.
Yep. And
your Black little children will explore one day.
Yep.
But wasn't the person that they were looking for already in custody before they went?
Already in custody. Yeah. They already had the person in custody. Yes.
So they said the
as innocent. You already had the person in custody. How will you not be charged?
They said that the cops who were there didn't know.
Well, this is the thing.
that the
person in the
person was
office
already in custody.
as beat or charged because they didn't communicate amongst their
But that's what. But that happens. That happens because when the warrant squad is out,
Right.
they're not going to connect
Call
with.
them, yeah.
They out all day ringing
Right.
people doorbells,
right.
doing what they need to do. That's what the warrant squad do. So
Right.
they're not checking in to see that they already got the person. But the fact of the matter is,
But that's not Breonna's problem.
Right,
That
that's not
wasn't Breonna's
my
problem.
That's their problem. So they need to be held accountable for because an innocent person got killed off of lack of communication.
But
So would they consider that friendly fire? Would they consider that?
no,
Friendly fire is when you shoot your own, like if they shot another cop.
yeah.
During the time when the cop, like there's been black cops that have been on the scene first, and then white cops don't know, and they
Right.
just think the black cop is the
Right.
person, and
Do
they
you
ended
guys
up shooting.
That's
do you
friendly
remember
fire.
what happened in Canarsie several years ago in the train
Yes.
station?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You want. I'm looking up stuff on my.
The black officer that was shot by the white officer. He was in plain clothes, so he didn't know he didn't know. He assumed, he was a bad guy and shot an officer.
Maybe I'm just confused or I'm really like stunned off of all of this because it's just like, okay, so you guys know that this person was already in custody. So you probably know that if somebody has a no-knock warrant or whatever and a guy in the house shoots at the person, he's trying to defend his home, right?
He's black though.
In a carry state, remember, don't forget.
So it's
Carry
legal.
state.
So it was a warning sign. So how is this justified?
He's black.
Right. So that's just
That's
like
all that it boils down to. He's black. That's what it is. At the end of the day.
And people say, oh, it's not a racial thing. Oh, da, da, da. I'm like, okay, so break it down. They already had the person in custody. So you could clearly see that this person was protecting his home for somebody coming in.
We're gonna bypass. We're gonna bypass having the person in custody. Let's just focus on the fact that you came into somebody's home at midnight,
Right.
and that person defended their home,
Right.
which they can legally do.
They can do.
Right.
Can legally do it because he was a legal gun owner.
Yeah.
So
And the fact that they even locked him up for 2 minutes,
Right.
he had the right to bear arms and he had the right to defend his
in
property.
his home.
Which he did.
Right.
But yet George Zimmerman can defend a neighborhood
In the street.
in the street
In the street.
And was told not to follow them. And was told not to follow him.
and was acquitted.
But see, the thing for me is the family was paid $12 million in a wrongful death suit. But then they said no one was wrong for her death.
Her. That was a great point.
Right.
So
That is a great
he got 12, the family got the 12 mil, but then no one was
No, it was
found
wrong
guilty
for.
for being
But
They were clever. They were clever on giving them the money before.
killing her.
They thought they were being clever. Like they figured,
Oh, that was planned.
when the real verdict come
Let me
out.
pacify y'all because
Yeah.
we know
That was
that
planned.
we shoot
That
y'all a
was
little dough. That's
Yeah.
going to change everything.
and they paid out the highest settlement
Yep.
ever in the
Ever.
state. That
Yep.
is the highest settlement ever paid out in the state. You
Well,
know that poor state that don't really generate no money? That state.
Yeah, exactly. But then you want to withhold funds from the states that actually
but
bring
Mr.
you money
Mitch, correct.
well,
from Turkey Neck.
the FBI is still
Doing their investigation, and
they
they need to do a thorough investigation.
and that's to see if her civil
Rights were violated.
rights were violated. So I'm hoping that in some point they find, I don't know. I mean,
Her civil rights were violated. Let's just say it. They were.
I mean, of course, but will they find it?
She ended up in a grave.
Do y'all remember that movie, A Time to Kill?
Yes.
And,
Yes.
when at the
Yeah, I killed him. And he
Yeah,
deserved to
and
die.
I do it again.
Remember that movie, A Time to Kill? And at the very, very end, what was the lawyer's name? When
Matthew McConaughey, when
yes, he had them close their eyes
Yes.
and had them visualize
Yes.
the little girl getting beat up and raped.
Right.
And the last line was, "Now imagine she's white."
She was a white.
Yes.
That's right. That's
Yo,
right.
if
That's right.
everybody could do that,
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
if everybody could do that for their culture, now imagine she's Indian, imagine she's
Right.
Asian, imagine she's white.
You know, we
I
would
think
have had a
everybody
different outcome.
Understand, because I feel like our culture is always on the island, and everybody's like, "Well, if had y'all followed the rules, like
Right.
you're supposed
Had
to
y'all
comply, it's
complied.
happening." They feel like we never follow rules. Like, so sleeping in your bed when somebody knocks and you get
It's
shot,
not following the
following
rules.
rules. Come on.
Right. She resisted. She resisted. She resisted in her home, in her bed.
there's so many instances and so many stories. And
Right.
Brianna, we got to do better. You know, like, we can't let your name go in vain. Like, you deserve better. Like Daniel Prue deserve. We all deserve better. We deserve better. Period.
Oh, wait. His press conference where
Dan
he
Cameron
was,
Coon,
yes, where he said that
it's Cameron, but
that the people who aren't from here should stay out, and like they don't know what's best for us. And I'm just like, and
you don't know what's best for
You
them.
don't know what's best
you
for us.
do?
You
Okay.
see how Sonny Hostins
Oh, yeah.
wrote and erased him?
Yes.
She was just like, he's never even went to trial before.
Right.
So how is he bringing this before the courts? Before a grand jury? Did you bring up the actual charges to the grand jury and what it meant? I don't even think he actually brought the charges of manslaughter or anything like that. It was
Not only that, they didn't even speak to the other witnesses.
Right.
No, they went by the one witness that said they heard them say police, but it was over 12 people that said they didn't hear them say. So you went by the one and not the 12. Even Jesus said, I need 12 disciples. And like, the one, hello, message. Y'all didn't get that.
But here's the funny part. So he was on the short list for Supreme Court.
Yes. 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 Let's add that in.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who has recently passed away. We extend our deepest condolences to her family. Our last taping, we actually were talking about her, saying that we hope that she holds on until the election. And unfortunately, her small frame couldn't hold up any longer. And she fought the fight and she passed away.
She did.
But her little self, she's so little.
So
and
cute.
cancer, she's so little. And cancer ravaged her body.
She's so little, but she was so big.
And powerful.
We know that she had come out against Colin Kaepernick at one time, but she also came out and apologized.
Yes.
And said she shouldn't speak on something that she has no knowledge of.
Yeah. It was one of those Jane Fonda moments. We can't tell people.
You can't tell people how to feel.
True.
Or what to call something when it's not directly happening to you.
She was a champion for women's rights, for equal pay. She obviously was for Roe v. Wade. She was one of the more liberal Supreme Court justices. And Donald Trump being
Donald Trump.
because Ruth left a dying wish. And him and his, if it was something in favor of him, he'd have been like, oh yeah, Ruth said we need to go forward.
He sure would have.
But Ruth said if she passes, that she would like for her replacement to be made after the election.
Right.
She said that on her dying bed.
But he said that Pelosi or Schiff or Schumer went and probably made that up, probably wrote that up themselves.
But
If she would have died and said, Trump is the greatest. She likes me, I like her. She likes me, I like her.
She was an amazing woman.
Amazing woman. Oh, wow. Wait, she passed? Wow, she was an amazing woman. I didn't hear that. Oh, wow. But can we just talk about the hypocrisy?
But wait, before we talk about that, wait. Did y'all see when him and his wife came up to the casket and they had their mask? Well, I know I didn't see the wife, but I saw her the back of her head. But he had his mask on. He had a mask on.
It was booed.
And yes, and it was like, vote him out. Vote him out. Vote him out.
Like, you gonna show up to RBG, the notorious RBGs?
He should have said. He's been sitting out so many services. Why didn't he just sit this one out? Because it wasn't even 24 hours. It wasn't even 24 hours of her passing for him to talk about he's going to make his announcement.
You know, he went back and had a tantrum because he can't take, what?
Well, I haven't been on Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter all day, so I must go on Twitter this after we sign off. But let's seriously talk about the hypocrisy of
2016
when Antonin Scalise passed away, Justice Scalise passed away. And
11 months.
11 months. It was 11 months till election.
Yes.
And President Obama was not allowed to make his selection to put in a Supreme Court justice.
Yep.
But you're telling me, now you're telling me within 40-something days it can be done. Now, it couldn't be done within 11 months because it was too close to an election, but 40-something days isn't too close to an election. So we know that number 40, that person.
Yeah, that dude.
He wants to get someone in because, and we saw, he will not concede easily.
Oh, he said twice in 24 hours that he ain't leaving.
And he said, and I know this will go to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So if I put my minions in, my minions will have to back me up and say, hey, Biden isn't the president. Him is still the president.
Yep. Yep.
But so that's the bottom line. That is the bottom line. And I'm so tired of the Republicans allowing this crap to happen.
It's when they Trump supporters. There's a difference. You have to make that distinction between Republicans
the Trump support, right? The Republican Trump supporters. Now, let's talk about Lindsey Graham and what Lindsey Graham said, that we can hold him to his word.
Lindsey Graham cracker looked like he
But you're going against your word. We have you on recording.
Is on tape.
Saying.
More than once. He was recorded more than once.
Mm-hmm. But now you're going against your word. So your word is not your bond. And that should show everybody that anything that comes out of their mouth,
they don't. It does not show anyone that these people are. And the thing about it, I am not backing Democrats because they can be hypocrites just like Republicans.
Right.
But when you see this man, he's not even a man.
He's a bully.
He's a tyrant.
He is
a tyrant.
He's a bully that has never had a fight in his life. You put him to square up with anybody, he is not winning.
Once again, the hypocrisy of this country. We actually go to other countries to take over.
Beat in the back with a book bag.
To control dictatorship. Do we not?
True.
Fidel Castro was a dictator.
Right.
We wanted to separate everything with Cuba.
Right.
We have a dictator.
Don't forget Gaddafi.
Exactly. We have a dictator in office. This is not a democracy. He is not running this country as a democracy. here's the crazy though. Mitt Romney was okay for going forward with a Supreme Court justice, but now the next day you're talking about what's not the Constitution. Like,
Right.
Mitt Romney, stop
Make
playing.
up your mind. Susan Collins, make up your mind. I really believe that Trump has videotapes on these people of them doing less than above reproach things.
Right.
And he got they balls literally.
He do.
Doing under the table work.
So
Doing under the table work.
so
He threatening somebody behind the scenes saying,
Or paying them off or something.
don't let me release this. You know I know about your problem.
Wait, remember that time when Set It Off, when Queen Latifah was standing there and she had rubbed her pocket?
oh yeah, with the ID.
That you're right.
That's what he do to all of them.
This is the sign. I got three tapes. I got 3 tapes on you.
I know what you did last summer.
Yes, I know.
I still know.
I never thought I would see the day. No, I'm lying.
This is we have a reality star as our president. And
but you know what? I can't believe we got 4 seasons out of this.
Oh my gosh.
this show would have been canceled. This show would have been canceled.
This show needs to be canceled.
Please.
Who's watching?
No,
Fired.
please.
You're fired. You're
Please,
fired.
let's have a new season on November 4th. No, on November 4th starts a new season because everybody would have they're voting on November 3rd.
Think bigly. Think bigly.
Think bigly. Think bigly. We're thinking bigly. We're gonna have a big turnout.
A bigger than ever seen. Bigger than you've ever seen. In the history of America. Bigger than you've ever seen.
So here's the thing though. On November 3rd, they will most likely they'll lose the
Senate?
Yes.
Lord, please, God, please.
If people voting,
Have any of you guys donated to anyone's campaign?
I got a notification today for South Carolina. So I put it in my calendar to do it first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Okay.
Even if it's $5.
$5, yeah.
Ain't doing $5. They get a little more than that.
$5.
Gonna get a little more than that. Maybe 15, maybe 15. Put a little something extra on it for you.
So I just I say that because they will not always be
in the majority.
In power. So they have to think about, wait a minute, they gonna get us back?
No,
they gonna get us back
real hard. That way. They are thinking that way, Shauna.
Why do you think they're
trying to put lifelong positions? They're filling lifelong positions.
Yeah. That's what they're doing.
So even if they're not in the majority, listen, the Supreme Court, the federal courts, we got it locked up.
But
own up.
We think that within these 40 days that they will get someone in, because there has not been a seat filled this fast since 1864.
Damn.
So
that's right after.
Well, look how fast they making this vaccine. Shit.
Are you taking it?
There ain't gonna be no vaccine.
They gonna put and water. They putting baking soda and water in a vial and make it seem like a vaccine.
They're rushing to get a vaccine. They're rushing to get a vaccine out before November 3rd.
It's gonna be baking soda and water.
It takes years to do a vaccine. It takes testing and mistakes.
No. Not under the Donald Trump administration. He can make things happen Just like that.
Just like that. Oh, okay.
But
He
how,
has done things that no other president
Never done.
Oh, you heard him say he did more for the Black community than any other
ever done.
president.
Except for Abraham Lincoln.
Except, yeah.
But he clearly doesn't know the history of Abraham Lincoln, huh?
At all.
did you hear on CNN that he said he gives himself an A+ for handling the coronavirus?
Yes. He's
Kind of Tassim talk.
he's
And how
delusional.
much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet that machines and everything are not going to be working on November 3rd? There's going to be 1-2 machines, long lines. People going to be hot, trying to know how to like, oh, I can't do this. Let me get out of line just for. You know.
But that's because that's what the Democrats is going to make that happen.
Right.
It's the Democrats is doing all of that. This is what he's saying. It's the Democrats that's doing all of that. They're trying to, the Democrats are trying to destroy the election.
Because of the fact that the Republicans have literally pushed things so far right, and I don't know who made up this right and left, because they ain't right. But anyway, have pushed things so far right that I'm sure Kamala and Joe Biden, since they are legal minds,
Yeah.
are going with the paper and the pen and are going to now, once the Senate has been taken over, have term limits. Because there's no reason why Supreme Court justices
It's
have
lifetime.
His lifetime. Yes.
because things change.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
people need to change with the times.
Exactly.
I mean, God rest her soul, RBG. But how old was she?
87?
87? Yeah, I think she was 87.
Yeah, that's too long.
But
You
she
know what
was
I mean?
put in there, wasn't she put in the Supreme Court in the 90s?
In 93.
93, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that Kamala and Joe are gonna be like, all right, okay, no doubt.
They had to set term limits for the presidency. You can't go past 2 terms for the presidency. So the Supreme Court, that can be changed. Their
Yes.
lifetime appointment needs to be changed.
And while they're at it, they need to, like we've been saying, I think we've said it on every show, that they need to abolish the electoral college, because there's no reason why states that have the least amount of people are deciding the fate of the entire country.
That's stupid. Straight
And
stupid.
how the whole concept of how they choose the electors is just bananas.
It's bananas.
But they knew what they were doing.
It's racist. It's racial.
Yeah.
It's racial.
But here's the thing. A lot of those systems, when they were put in place, we were not
Right.
We weren't free.
You weren't even thought of.
We can't even say it's racial because there was no concept of us ever having the opportunity to have rights.
Yeah, well, it was still race because it was based on the people that had slaves. Slaves have to be counted for.
But they knew that in their minds we were not going to have rights to do anything.
True.
We're just going to be their cotton pickers, they shoe shiners, they ass wipers, they breastfeeders, the people that they lay down with when they feel like laying down with anytime, anywhere, anyhow. That's the mindset.
Yeah.
That's when
So-
America was
great.
That's when you got to do Wesley Snipes in New Jack City. It's the American way. You know what I'm talking about?
Hot Topics gets even hotter, so stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of Between Sisters.
It's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think that this show is so racially explicit or too racially charged, that's because we are all Black women with Black men in our lives, Black family,
Black children.